Hey gang, it's JC and this is your Daily Dose for Monday, July 19th, 2010, a cooperative venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. You can subscribe to the audio on iTunes if you hit that little icon down there. You're also going to find Dave Murray's weather forecast, and you'll find archives at the top of the page. We continue on in the middle of the summer with our 15-month paid vacation. Ain't it great? All right, since Friday afternoon, there have been 14 shootings in the city of St. Louis. Between Friday night and this morning, 14 shootings in the city of St. Louis. You know, tell everyone you know, everywhere you go, I'm sold on St. Louis. I'm sold. Remember that little song? All these stupid slogans. St. Lou is the place where things happen or whatever it is. You know, clean up the schools, get the guns off the street, put more cops out, stop the car break-ins, clean up the schools. Did I mention that? Little jingles and little slogans. 14 shootings over the weekend. All right, 2.5-hour power outage here at the palatial Corcoran Mansion over the weekend. That I understand. A big storm comes through and the wind was blowing, the trees were snapping. That I understand. What I don't understand is the power going out when it's 40 degrees and there's no wind and no unusual atmospheric conditions, and it's the middle of the Super Bowl and the power goes out for an hour, and then the power company manufactures a smear campaign, and yeah, never mind. All right, that oily, dirty, smelly, ugly mess on the coastline, all that greasy stuff you see on TV. Of course, I'm talking about the cast of the Jersey Shore, and they are on strike. The new season of the Jersey Shore is supposed to start next week. They're shooting episodes. They each make $10,000 per episode. Everybody on the show gets $10 grand a piece, and they want more. Watch this space for details. We'll update things by the minute around here. The Jersey Shore controversy. Channel 5 started running these promos. I started seeing them over the weekend, and I've seen a lot of them. There's only one problem, and I'll get to it. They want you to take that pledge that Oprah has been pounding on here for the last 6 months or so. They don't want you to text or check your email while you're driving your car. Okay, that I understand. Perfectly fine with that. Although Oprah comes off a little heavy-handed on it. But the thing that you need to notice about this promo is, they said, and when you talk on your phone, use a hands-free device. Well, there's only one problem with that. Every study that has ever been conducted, and they've done a million of these studies over the last 10 years, including some by the cell phone industry itself, have indicated that using a hands-free device doesn't improve the situation at all. You have the same level of vacancy up here when you're trying to concentrate on your driving. They've run a million tests. They've done a million studies. So why is Channel 5 telling you that the situation will be improved if you use a hands-free device when you're making cell phone calls? Whoever put this thing together should be fired immediately. So do it already. Speaking of Channel 5, the fact that we now have Jeff Suppan back on the team, as I've pointed out, Rennie Knott just continues to go on mispronouncing Jeff Suppan's name, and nobody wants to do a goddamn thing about it. And this is not an isolated thing either. He's been mispronouncing names for years. Hell of a nice guy, by the way. Nicest guy you ever want to meet. But the man does not know his sports. He doesn't know baseball icons like Carlton Fisk. How do you mispronounce Carlton Fisk? How do you mispronounce Juan Marichal? And he keeps doing it, and it's Jeff Suppan. Jeff Suppan. Yeah, it's wrong. It's wrong. Now you want to hear something good? Mike Claiborne on KTRS and the Cardinals Radio Network yesterday morning does an interview with St. Louis native Ron Kulpa, one of the Major League Baseball umpires who was working the game yesterday. And some great questions and some great discussions, things I never would have thought about asking about, like how does the heat impact umpires? And what about injuries? You know, players, especially catchers, have a lot of injuries. Yadier Molina is always playing with something banged up, and the umpires are right back there too, and they're always banged up. And just like things like if a pitcher is having problems with his control, an umpire gets the call to do the home plate work that day, and does he take that into consideration? He knows a pitcher is struggling. Great questions, and by the way, St. Louis ought to be doing a lot more than they're doing to claim Ron Kulpa as one of our own. We should get on that, okay? Great guy, by the way. I've met him, and his wife used to listen to the show, so they're cool with me. got this Mel Gibson controversy, and it got me thinking about when Passion of the Christ came out, and they had the movie premiere in St. Louis, and they had almost like a red carpet type thing, like Joan Rivers and her daughter should have been there reporting live from the red carpet arrival of the ministers and the Christian radio talk show hosts. By the way, all of whom who are about 160 pounds overweight. Isn't gluttony supposed to be a sin? So what's the story there? But anyhow, all these guys, all these ministers are standing around, all these Christian radio talk show hosts, talking about how great Passion of the Christ was. They hadn't even seen it yet. They admitted they hadn't seen the movie yet, but they were telling everybody how great it was. And now you have all the Mel Gibson stuff coming down, and it's funny. How come we haven't heard from any of them, huh? Baskin Robbins says they're discontinuing 5 of their ice cream flavors, the ones that haven't sold very well, and also they're trying to make room for some new products. In a related story, Ben & Jerry's is discontinuing their controversial flavor, statutory grape. Aaron Sorkin, the guy who wrote the screenplays for A Few Good Men and Charlie Wilson's War, he wrote all the West Wing episodes, got a hold of the John Edwards expose, the book, and apparently they're going to make a movie about John Edwards. Rachel Yucatel, otherwise known as Tiger's Mistress #1, the one they paid the $10 million to reportedly, because she apparently knew all of the dirt. So apparently she's close to doing Celebrity Apprentice. Well, she's already signed on to do Celebrity Rehab. How many of these loser shows can she do? This was a 9/11 widow. What the hell are you doing? All right. If you're going to do something, do Playboy and get it over with already, all right? Meryl Streep and Tina Fey are doing a movie together. It's called Mommy and Me. We have no other details. Janis Joplin movie. I remember it had to be 7 or 8 years ago, maybe even longer than that, where we started hearing rumors that they were going to do a Janis Joplin movie. And the name we heard was Renee Zellweger playing Janis Joplin. And everybody went, huh? Since then, we've heard the names Lily Taylor, Melissa Etheridge, Courtney Love, Pink, Britney Spears, Lindsay Lohan, Scarlett Johansson. The latest name now we're hearing for the Janis Joplin movie is Amy Adams. We'll see if it ever comes down. New study by the University of Cal Davis says you pay all that extra money for extra virgin olive oil, and you're not getting it. As a matter of fact, it failed the test 69% of the time. They'd either blended the stuff with cheaper oils, made it from the wrong kinds of olives to be able to qualify, or just did something wrong in the processing. The foreign brands were guilty most often. All right, we have new updated features. The JC Wayback Machine, with the temperatures being in the mid to upper 90s this week, I thought you need something to sort of psychologically cool you off. And we found the tape of the Ice Bowl back in 1967 with Frank Gifford, the great Ray Scott, and at that time the up-and-coming Jack Buck on the field at Lambeau in Green Bay, where the temperature was 15 below. With the Rams reporting to camp next week, I thought you'd enjoy seeing that. Give you a mental cool down. Also, JC's Video Village goes back to 1997 and my one-on-one interview with Madonna. It was a surprising kind of conversation we had, and of course, the power went out right before I did the interview, and it inspired my first book, 20 Minutes in the Dark with Madonna, but we'll talk more about that some other time. The movie, Evita, but the interview was actually very good. JC's Not Necessarily the News this week is Bob Costas and Tony La Russa. All right, JC's Eye Candy today. I never got into the whole Anna Kournikova thing. I just don't get it. I don't think she's that hot. She's a tall, skinny Russian chick who doesn't really play tennis very well, but I know I'm in the minority here, so we're running 3 action photos from her stop here in St. Louis over the weekend. Tomorrow is Celebrity Tuesday, and as you know, I try to focus on somebody that I actually really got to know or somebody I was actually friends with, and we will do that tomorrow. In the meantime, that's it. JC's Daily Dose for Monday, July 19th, 2010, a cooperative venture with Mind Active. Talk to you tomorrow. Stay cool in the meantime. We've beaten this one to death. Have a good one. See you later. Bye.